What is Freedom? Freedom is an algorithmic software system that produces daily trade signals for buying and selling stocks to consistently make money trading using Freedom. All you do is type 5 simple pieces of information into the homepage for the historical period you want to test. A stock symbol, a start date, an end date, how much money you would put into a trade, and how much your broker will charge you to make a trade. Then you press the Analyze button, the only button on the screen, and in just seconds, you get your signal and you're done. So, are you ready to take Freedom for a test drive? Sign up now for your
No cost, no obligation, no hassles.
14-day totally free trial. Freedom really is this simple.
And welcome back to Traders Freedom. So today we have a very special guest with us, Ms. Rachel Williams. Good morning, Rachel.
Good morning.
Now, Rachel is actually the managing partner and principal of a physical therapy practice here in New York City. They have offices in Riverdale, which is in the southern part of the Bronx on the Hudson River, and on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. She is not a trader. She is not a hedge fund manager. She's not a professional in any way, shape, or form. And she's been helping me out with some back issues that I have. And we talk while we do our sessions, and we talked a little bit about what I do and what our business is. And she was really interested. And a couple of people have mentioned to us in the past, wouldn't it be great if you actually did one of these how-to sessions with somebody who doesn't know your system? So, Rachel Williams, we looked at this for 5 minutes in her office the other day on my iPhone. And she was like, I would love to do that remote session we've been talking about for months. So here we are on a Sunday morning. So Rachel, welcome.
Happy Sunday.
She has literally never used this before. You got the mouse, just hit the login
Okay,
button.
yeah, I do. Okay, great. So I'm going to start by logging in.
There it goes.
Yay.
Boom. Yay.
All right, I did that part. That's good.
Okay, thank you very much, everybody. You've been a great
skills.
audience. Have a good weekend.
That's a big success for me. Seriously. Okay. So what I'm going to do is look up one of the stocks that I was interested in, or any stock in general.
You can look at anything you want. The only thing I want to say before you start here is on the homepage here, which is where everything happens. You only need to do or know 5 pieces of information.
Okay.
You have a stock in this field here, the start date that you want to test with, because we're going to do essentially back testing to see how these stocks did in the past. So you need the start date, you need an end date, you need an investment size. You can use any size you want because we'll do all the math for you. We use $10,000 just because it's easy to do the math in your head. And the cost or the commissions for your trades. And even though virtually everybody offers commission-free trading right now, it's not necessarily a given that everybody uses that type of a broker, so you can put in whatever value you want here. So that's it. If you know those 5 pieces of information, you're ready to go.
Okay. So I'm going to start with the stock that I've used to play around with a little bit, that I always loved working with. I got in long time ago. I got in with Apple at about $88 a share, maybe about 15 years ago. So let's see what Apple's going to do now. I haven't been trading it in a long time though.
Okay, so while Rachel told you that story, the system is now finished. So you can see that within 5 seconds, you had your answers.
Okay.
So there's 3 things here that we want to look at. We started, I'm going to take the mouse over here, Rich, just for a second. We started with the user inputs, which is where she filled in the 5 fields, and then she hit the 1 button on the screen, the Analyze button. What it then did is it gave you a summary of what all 16 of our proprietary algorithms did when you matched them with Apple, the stock. Okay. And we see here that of the 16 algorithms, 16 of them are saying you should be long or you should buy the stock. 0 is saying you should be short or you should sell or short the stock. The number of winning algorithms are 11 out of 16, so 5 didn't make money. And we can see here that if you just bought Apple stock, $10,000 worth on October 29th, and held it to December the 10th, you would be up 20%, which is a pretty nice run.
It's pretty good.
Pretty nice. Okay. So this is the summary of how all the algorithms work. And then down here, we have what we call our model results. And a model is simply the stock that you pick and the algorithm that you choose. So it could be Apple 1, 16, 3, 13, et cetera, et cetera. So that's going to be 1 through 16. So there's never any confusion when you're talking to somebody else about, oh, well, I really like Apple and I think Apple 8's great for me. Everybody knows what you mean. It's Apple's
Okay.
the stock, 8's the algorithm.
Okay, so it's
By
easy. It's just numbered 1 through 16, just
Yep.
to code. Okay, got it.
And by default, when you get these results, it just sorts them by which ones made the most money. So that's why number 1's at the top.
So
Okay.
it's interesting. I just like quickly perused it while you were not talking that much, John.
Yes.
And it just in this particular case, and again, like I just see like it actually would have been best just to buy and hold Apple for this time period.
Yeah.
Is that that's the conclusion that would happen? Now it still seems like all the algorithms all made money overall, but like for me,
11 out of 16, the bottom 5 did.
so are they just showing the top? Are they showing just the 11 money-making ones in this chart, or are they where are the 5 losers?
Okay, right. Okay, good question. So right here, if you look at the net profit loss,
Okay, I'm doing
the first 11 are black, the bottom 5 are red. Those are the losers.
Got it. So so in other words, for that month period, algorithm 12, 5, 6, 8, and 4 would not have been a good one to follow because I would have lost money in those 2 months if I used them. Okay. Mm-hmm.
So
how do you know which algorithm is the smartest one?
Well, so obviously the first thing people look at is I want the one that made the most money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, if you click on algorithm number 1,
Mm-hmm.
go ahead and click on it. And what it will do is it will show you the 3 trades that it made during that 6-week period, right? So if you see from the top in the trade details there's trades 3, 2, and 1. So the first one was 2 days long and lost $76. The second one was 1 day long and lost $19. But the third one's been 17 days long and it's made $1,800 or almost 19% in a 17-day period.
So in other words, if I'm sorry to cut you off, but you know, I'm the one that talks a lot usually. So what this algorithm would have done if I had chosen it 2 months ago, I would have followed it and I would have done the trades as it suggested. And overall, I would have made $1,754. It would have recommended 2 very little problem choices, I suppose, or wrong choices, but it wouldn't have mattered because overall, if I just followed this algorithm without even thinking or doing anything, I would have made $1,754, which still is very good.
Yeah. And the thing that we'll get into, because we're going to change stocks just so we can shotgun through stuff and see how things happen, is because you clicked on that algorithm, it showed you the 3 trades that it said in the summary box down here. It shows you the 3 specific trades, the dates that you'd get in, you get out, you started with your $10,000. So on that date, you could have bought 66 shares because it was trading at $150. And then you sold them at $149. The next trade you got in on that date at $150.29 and you sold at $150, so you lost pocket change. But then the third trade you got into on November 17th at $151, and on Friday it closed at $170.
So can I ask, so now can I look at the history of, say I want to do small amount of trades like algorithm 1, do I look at how do I choose which algorithm I would follow for this particular stock? Like, do some algorithms trade more and some trade less, or they kind of also just fluctuate based on whatever they're deciding on, or whatever information I guess they're collecting? Yep.
So generally speaking, number 1 is the most conservative algorithm. The way that it looks at all the quantitative data and what it's looking for from pattern recognition's perspective is it's looking for a very conservative change in the way that prices move, and then generating a signal, right?
Okay.
If we, for the sake of example, if we were to pick the second algorithm, which made a little bit less money, but is algorithm number 16, it's also
that would
telling
be the
you
most aggressive one out of all
it's
of
the
them?
most aggressive because it's the 16. And
So
if
then
you look at this here, there's 12 different trades ranging from 1 day to 5 days. And you're in and out and in and out much more often.
then I just kind of need to decide where I'm at. Like, do I want to be more conservative or more aggressive? And like in general, let's just say I kind of flow in the middle, like choosing algorithm 8 or 7 might be one to stick with for like all of my stocks. If I kind of want to run somewhere in the middle, if I want to be conservative about it, is risk averse, or I don't know what the correct
That's
terminology
exactly
is.
it. It
Right.
has to match your risk profile, and
Okay.
only you know what that is.
Right.
So you're
right now,
going to develop Rachel's secret sauce for how she wants to pick stocks and pick models, right?
so do you suggest somebody like, or me trying this now, like maybe stick with algorithms 1, 2, or 3 as I learn it, or just really I have to go with my innate
You'll
value
develop
system, like the value system about how I feel about risk with money right now?
Correct. You have to find Rachel's approach. John's doesn't work. Fred's doesn't work.
Okay.
Electra's doesn't work. It's got to be something that works for you. And it may change over time because you get more comfortable with stuff and you start to say, well, I understand how to read all the data and I understand where the risk lies. And I'm more comfortable with maybe certain stocks that you say, okay, well, I'll trade more aggressively. And some you may say, I want to be conservative because I think they're innately more risky, but those are decisions you'll make over time. And the one thing I want to mention here is the fact that because Rachel chose to look at Apple, it's only looking at Apple. It doesn't look at other stocks in its sector. It doesn't look at other stocks on the NASDAQ. It doesn't look at other stocks that make telephones. Imagine there's 11,000 fish in the ocean, because that's how many stocks trade and that's how many stocks we track. It's just looking at that one fish. That's how the entire system works.
That's good. Yeah. I'll take it.
Okay, so for fun, let's go back up to the top and let's change the name of the stock and let's test another one, see what it looks like.
Okay.
And this is effectively the entire system. This page and of modules that you're looking at right here is essentially what makes the system work.
Okay. I'm gonna look at which stock? I really don't even know. Sorry, I didn't prepare. I'm gonna look
around your house and look for things that you do all the time. Do you drink Starbucks coffee? Do you wear Nike clothes? Whatever.
Right.
People get ideas from every place.
Okay. You know what? I'm doing a lot of geothermal and trying to like make my house environmental. So I'm gonna look into like Tesla to look at like solar and being environmental. So I'm gonna look at what is it? It's TS, right? TSL. Okay.
Hey. Yep.
Okay. And it's a hot stock too, right? So anyway, let's look at this.
Okay, so all you changed was the stock. Left the dates the same, the investment size the same, the cost the same. So in that summary box that's just below the user inputs, we see 3 of the algorithms are long, 3 are short, and 10 are actually saying, I don't see enough to go one way or the other, so let's just stay out, keep your powder dry, keep your money on the side, let's wait for a clear signal. 3 algorithms made money and 13 lost money. And at the same time, Tesla, if you just bought and held it during that period, lost 10% of your money. So I would be willing to say right now that, you know what, not a good time for Tesla, so you just move on to the next one.
Okay, but it's interesting because looking at all of the conservative algorithms, those are the ones like, I mean, algorithm 1 missed, but the conservative algorithms are the ones that actually made money. So I for me, I'm just thinking like as a starter and something that originally I was like, oh, I'll stay in the middle, but I might want to stay somewhere towards the conservative just to kind of get my toes wet.
Yep. Understand.
Okay.
Totally understand.
Got it. Okay.
Let's try another one.
Okay. My cousin is in Disney right now, so I'm going to look at Disney. Here we go.
Okay. So same breakdown. All we did was change the name. 3 longs, 3 shorts, 10 outs, kind of like Tesla, but 14 winning algorithms, just 2 losers. And if you bought and held the stock, you'd lose $1,000 almost. That's 10% in 6 weeks. Almost every one of those algorithms made money. And as opposed to Tesla, 14, 15, 10, 11, 16, 13 were the ones that made the most.
So the more aggressive ones made the most. That's interesting.
but it's all about the fish.
Right.
Sometimes the fish likes a certain kind of bait or a lure. Sometimes it's another one, right? So
Right.
there's no right answer that goes across every stock and every model, because you got to remember there's 11,000 stocks in the world. There's 16 algorithms. That means there's 175,000 models to choose from every day.
Okay.
So for fun, let's click on algorithm 14 there. Let's look at its trades. Okay. So right now at the top here, it says signal for Monday is out. Now you knew this Friday night.
Wait, oh, that's up. Wait, that's up at the top because that's what we saw. Is that so? Where we're saying the signal for Monday out is at the top right here where it says long short out. So on Monday, it wouldn't recommend that I buy this stock.
Well, no, the signal you get is this big yellow bar. It says out.
Got it. Okay. See, I didn't. Okay, great. Now I understand.
If it was long, it would be green and say long. And if it was short, it would be red and it would say short. So it's like stoplights, right? Traffic lights.
So it's telling me on Monday, do not buy this stock on Monday.
Correct.
Okay. Once I decide on a stock, all I have to do is look at this middle bar and follow the instructions.
Correct.
Okay. That's easy.
Now, because we have more trades that we're dealing with here, I like to describe this as the back of a baseball card. So I got 10 trades here, but I want to know how they actually did different types of trades. So if I click on this trade analyzer button, it opens up the back of a baseball card. And it tells me that in the 23 days that I was in this stock, I had 6 winning trades and 4 losers. I had 13 positive days and 10 negative days. My last 5 trades, on 4 winners and 1 loser, I made 7%. That's pretty great. Last 10, I'm 6 and 4, and I made 16.5%. That's even greater. So it's sort of like looking at a pitcher's stats on the back of a baseball card. How is this guy doing overall over 6 weeks? What's the last 2 weeks been look like? And do I see anything here that makes me sit up and take notice? Yeah, you know what I notice? Its average losing trade lost $26, but its average winners almost 300. That's pretty strong.
Okay.
And that's a single button right there, the trade analyzer.
So you want it to be like better than 50%?
Probably, but even if it was 50-50, if every trade that you made that won, if this data here was, 6 winners and 4 losers, let's say it was 5 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
And the last 5 trades, it was 2 winners and 3 losers, but it was 5 and 5 here. If I'm still only losing $26 on every losing trade, but I make 300 on every winning trade, I would do that forever.
Right. So it's not really the
I would send that picture out every single time I could. I think that's important. The other thing that people will come back to us with is, okay, well, so I hit the analyze button on Disney and I see this group of model summary results. What makes a good model? Okay, well, the first thing is the net P&L, right? How much money did it actually make? Okay, but then how do you decide like 1650, 1650, 1338, 1338, 1038, 1039? Which one should I pick? And the first thing is what you hit on the first time, which is I'm not so comfortable with really, really aggressive. Maybe moderately aggressive is okay. So I might not pick the 16, which is down here, and I'd feel a little more comfortable with 14. But maybe I want to go down to 10 because I didn't really give back that much money to be a little more conservative. The other thing, just from an overall perspective, is if I put in Disney and I hit analyze and it tells me, oh, 14 algorithms made money and 2 lost. Think about going to the summer fair or the county fair or whatever, the game where they have the balloons on the board and they're like, throw a dart, win a prize, right? And you say, okay, well, what's the big prize? This giant dog. And how many giant dogs are there behind those 16 balloons? 1. Okay, so that means 15 out of 16 times I could be wrong. But if it's saying you get a giant dog 14 times, but you don't twice, I like those odds a lot better. I'll play that game.
I would definitely play that game. Yeah. If I wanted a big dog, though.
If you wanted a big dog. But from an algorithm summary perspective, maybe there's safety or strength in numbers. Like if everybody's making money and buying and holding it isn't, that might be the kind of thing that makes me feel good, because I'm like, well, no matter what algorithm I pick, it looks like I'll make some if the trend continues that way. Where if I only had 8 winners and 8 losers, maybe that's okay. But if I saw 2 winners and 14 losing algorithms, I don't know that I want to play that game. I would go on and get out of Disney, forget about Disney, or that's what we looked at with Tesla, I think, right? There was only 3 winners.
Mhm.
That's a good reason to skip over, because it's just not a good time for Tesla right now. You can rattle through. I mean, look at how long it took us to jump from Tesla to Disney. I mean, we've been on the phone here for half an hour. We're through 3 so far, but it's the same interface. It's the same data. It's the same information that's making you make it. So we're on the spot.
I know. So many choices. There's 11,000 different choices right now.
Yeah.
And I don't know all of them at all. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go safe. I'm gonna go with Procter and Gamble. Let's see, right? Is it just PG?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So
I don't know
drug
why I
stocks,
said safe, because isn't that normally a safe?
drug stocks are all over the place right now, right? Because of COVID and everything else. So what we see up in the top in the summary, because that's the first thing I check, 16 longs. Okay, that's pretty overwhelming that they like it. 14 winners, kind of like that, and only 2 losers. So it passes the balloon test. It passes the, oh my God, every algorithm says you should buy it on Mondays. So that might be a good thing. And then once you look at the model sum results, now the next thing Rachel has to decide is, I got to click on a model number in order to look at some specifics.
Okay. So, and again, I'm going to stick somewhere more. 11's my lucky number. So I'm going to stick with 11. So I'm going to look at, that's just my number. I don't know.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then it's going to tell me on Monday I would buy it.
Right.
Okay.
And the system assumes, because of the way that it works, in order to be consistent about the prices you see here for entries and exits, whenever you get a signal to buy or sell the stock, it assumes that you buy it as soon as it opens that day. So what that means for Rachel is, if Rachel's using the system and she looks at her signals on Friday for Procter and Gamble and Apple and whatever else, she knows what she wants to do Monday morning. Friday night at 8 o'clock, she can log into her online broker and put in her trade and say, buy this at the open, buy this at the open, buy this at the open. And then you can go watch Netflix or do what you need to do with your kids or do whatever Rachel needs to do on a Friday night. It's not like you have to read all weekend long or pay attention to pre-market trading or anything else. This is not meant to take over your life. It's supposed to take you 10 minutes out of it.
But then do I have to now then check it Monday after the market closes so I can know if I need to do something for 2? So is it the type of thing where I have to check it? I have to check it every afternoon or evening after the market closes, but sometime before it's going to open the next day, to see what the algorithm to set me up for the success for the next day. So it's something I do have to check every single day for a few minutes.
Right. The markets, the NASDAQ and New York Stock Exchange are the 2 major markets, right? They contain the majority of those 11,000 stocks. They collect all of the data from that day's trading, and what they call market and feed it out to everybody who wants it at 6:30 each evening. We pick up all that data, upload it into the cloud. All of our cloud servers do what they do and crunch all the numbers and create all the algorithm signals and everything else. And it's done inside of an hour for all 11,000 stocks, all 175,000.
Okay, so at what does the market close at, 4 or 4:30 or something like that? So
closes at 4, but it takes them till 6:30 to post everything. So we pick it up at 6:30, and by 7:30 or 8 o'clock, we're done. So it means you have homework Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, sometime after 7:30 for like 10 or 15 minutes. That's it.
Got it.
And there's going to be times,
really doable.
And there's going to be times where everything says the same thing it did the other day. You got nothing to do, but you do have to check it, because we get a new day's worth of data every day. It's going to change the signals every day because the patterns change every day as a result.
So my responsibility would be to just check the system every evening after 7:30 p.m. And then all I have to do is I don't have to do anything except follow its orders, which is great, easy. And then log into my trading account if it tells me to make a trade and set that up for the next day. So it's just logging into this system, my system, and I don't have anything to think about.
And then forget about it till the next night.
Right. It's just a procedural thing I have to do.
Yep.
I'll do the best. It's like a monkey could actually do this system if it could click into my account.
Well, you could probably teach the monkey to do that, but what the monkey wouldn't be able to do is decide which one of the 11,000 stocks do I want to look at, and which one of the 16 algorithms do I want to combine with the stock that I like.
Right.
That's
so
where
I'm the monkey that has to choose those two things. And once I make two choices, there's nothing else to do. So that's two choices is pretty easy.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Correct.
That's
Now,
easy.
you may find that when you do your testing, just like, and the example I use here is weather. The thing that's most critical in me deciding what I'm going to wear today to cope with the weather is what the weather was like yesterday or the day before, the day before. I'm not really looking back at July, right? I mean, I could, but I don't quite know why I would, right?
Would we want to look at the weather this time last year though? Or that's still too, like, that's not, I know with weather.
So. Yeah, I don't think so with stocks, because the thing about stocks is their patterns will change based on something as simple as, like, every quarter they have to release an earnings report.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a public company, you have to publish your earnings. And depending on how the earnings are perceived of, whether you made money or lost money, or whether you made as much as they thought you would, because sometimes you'll make a lot of money, but they're like, yeah, but it's $4 million less than we thought. And the stock gets killed the next day. That kind of thing happens every quarter for every stock. They publish their earnings, and we take into account the day after when it dropped 10%. So you could go back and look at, well, how did it handle that a year ago? But it's not really relative to yesterday or the day before. So I think the latest days, which is why we're looking at how far do you want to go back from yesterday's date, would be the best way to get a sense of what to do. And this is definitely more trading, but it's not day trading. It's not something you have to sit there and look at it all day long and say, oh, I should sell it at 2 p.m. and get back in at 3:45. You're going to get one signal.
It's once a day trading. It is day trading, but just once a day trading.
Well, actually, what they call it is swing trading.
Swing trading. Oh, I like that.
Which is you're going to swing from long to short, but it's only going to happen every now and then. So you can see the days, 1 day, 2 day, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 3, 3. And again, this is because it's algorithm 11. So it's one of the more aggressive algorithms because it's a higher number. For example, so PG, we have $10,000 here, right? And we have 16 longs, 14 winners, 2 losers. The only thing I'm going to change here is instead of $10,000, let's say 6 months from now, when Rachel's got all this money because she's doing so well as a trader, she's going to put $1 million on every trade. Okay. All I did was change it to $1 million. It's still 16 longs, 14 winners, 2 losers. And the signal for the $1 million trader is still long, and he still made the same 11 trades, but he's buying a lot more shares, but at the same prices that he got in, at the same prices he got out. So when we decided to release this to a retail audience, what was really important to us was we're not going to change any of the intellectual property or the algorithms. We're just going to make it easier for a person who isn't a trader and doesn't necessarily understand how it works to use a system that gives them the same results that the guy with $1 million makes. So whether you've got $1,000 to put into a trade or $1 million to put in a trade, you're going to see the same data, the same signals. Everything's identical. It really flattens out.
That's great, actually. Yeah.
And the reason we have you fill out these values here, the investment size and the cost, is because we do these calculations for you. You could have bought this many shares on this day, and then based on whether you made money, you could buy a little bit more or a little bit less if you lost money, and all the accounting gets done for you. So that we're not going to tell you what stock you should pick or what model you should pick or how much money you should put in a trade, because that's all something you're going to decide based on your situation at that moment in time. And that situation may change too, and you'll ramp it up or ramp it down when it needs to.
Okay, well, that makes a lot of sense.
Let's do one more.
Okay. Oh, you're going to make me think of another stock.
I am.
Oh my
Such-
gosh, I
such
wasn't
pressure.
prepared for this, John. You're putting me on the spot. Okay. Oh, let's pick another stock. Let's pick another stock. Okay, actually, I was talking to you about it the other day, ATVI. That's one that I actually, I'm not sure if I'm happy if I do at this point or not, but
Let's give it a shot.
yeah.
Okay, so same time frame, same investment size. For Monday, 3 algorithms say go long or buy it. 8 say go short or sell it. 5 say just get out of the way because it's not clear enough. 7 algorithms made money, which is not bad. 9 lost, which is not great, but it's not bad. And unfortunately for Rachel, in the last 6 weeks, that $10,000
It's
has
been
lost
terrible.
2,500. It's lost a quarter of its value.
So now if I click on one algorithm, then it should,
Yep.
it's gonna come up with a red button in the middle, correct? Right, that's what it's gonna, oh no, green.
Well, no,
Wait.
if you
Sorry.
look down here, let's go back, okay? Analyze.
I missed something here then.
We've got 3 longs, 8 shorts, and 5 outs, right? If you look on the far right column here, the latest signal for each algorithm,
Oh, okay.
long,
So-
long, out, 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 out.
So
and then
depending
all
on
the
which algorithm I pick is what it's gonna tell me to do for Monday. Now I
Right,
understand.
But
Okay,
by
that was-
clicking on it, I get to see the trades that were made, and then I can decide, okay, is it making enough money on each trade? Did it make a lot of money from one trade, but then lose 7 times on the other ones? Because you don't want to do that either.
Got it.
You don't
And
want to
now I'm
send a
looking at
picture
my
out.
favorite number 11 and I don't know if I want to, but I'm gonna just click on it and
No.
just.
That doesn't look like much of a winner.
Okay, and now I see that the red short correlates with that last column. So that's the same information, just in a different place.
Right.
Got it.
And it will also tell you if you clicked on it, the last trade, which is the latest one, it also tells you that its latest trade, it was long. So it had been long for a day, but on Monday, it wants you to go short.
Got it.
So it doesn't like that long position.
Got it. And now because I actually, I mean, and just a little different, if I was getting into it or wanted to get into stocks on Monday and I was following this algorithm, I would wait, I would not buy this one on Monday. And then I would check back if I wanted to stick with this algorithm, perhaps Tuesday, it would want me to start buying it.
Right. Or
I don't know.
it might be short right till Wednesday. And then finally on Thursday, it goes, okay, now's the
Right.
day. So
all I
you
have
kept
to
that
do if
pocket
I-
of money there and waited for the signal to turn around. Because if you're going to use a system, you're going to use a system that generates a signal, and then you decide if there's enough supporting evidence inside all of these trades and the trade analyzer to make you decide, okay, I think this is a good bet, I'm going to do it.
Got it. And looking at, so I think like right now looking at that screen that you pulled up, that's the trend analyzer from that second button, right?
No, that's the trade analyzer, this guy here.
Oh, that's trade analyzer. Okay, trade analyzer. So this one now looking at the number of wins, losses, the average winning and lose, probably right now, I probably, with this algorithm, I wouldn't even think to buy this stock anytime soon, right? So I would either go to a different algorithm or go to a different stock.
Right. And even though it's got 7 winners, so it's got these guys here, you know, it made a couple $100 on these guys, got a little bit better there. There's really only 2 that really excelled.
Mm-hmm. Right. So I would forget about this stock for a little while. And
Yeah,
maybe I had a lot of better choices, even in the ones that I looked at today.
Absolutely. And I think that's the balloon answer, right? 2 out of 16. I'll go play another game, right?
Mhm.
There's always another booth that you can go to at the fair and try to win something, right?
Well, but this one, it's not never, it's just right now. Maybe in 3 months, if I really want to explore it again, is that what it is? Like wait a couple months. If something really has me connected to this stock, which it shouldn't anyway, in a couple of months time, I could revisit it again and see what.
Well, if you look at that algorithm 4, which is the one that made the most money, right? So let's bring him up. It's actually made some money. And if we look at the trade analyzer for this one, so 4 wins and 4 losses, kind of what we were talking about with the other stock at the beginning. It's right 50% of the time.
Mhm.
Its average winning trade is $700. Its average losing trade is $200. So that's pretty good. Its last 5 trades, it made 6%. Its last 10 trades, well, there's only 8, so it's going to tell you it was 4 and 4. It's made 19%. It seems like it made a lot of money early and that it slowed down a little bit here.
Uh-huh.
But it also, if I look at the average number of days in a winning trade, it's 4.75. This trade here is already 5 days long. It's kind of at the end. I don't think I would get into a trade that's that old, especially if it's telling me here, well, the average number of days in a winning trade is 4.75. This is already 5 days long. I would wait for the next signal for this.
So now I have a question.
There you go.
So
And that's why you're here.
I'm raising my hand. I'm being really good. I don't want to interrupt the rest of the class. So there's no, once I get into an algorithm and I start and the monkey takes over, I'm technically never getting out of it. There's no, is there an end to when I would stop once I'm in and out? Like,
there is.
okay.
But you know what? I would like to invite you back for a part 2, because I think it's already noon here. We've covered a lot of ground.
A lot.
It's a great question, and there is an answer that we can go through, but it's going to take us longer than 2 minutes.
Okay.
So can we set up a second date? Do this again?
That'd be great. That'd be really great.
That'd be
This
awesome.
was really, really informative. And I mean, I would like your, I think I'm gonna start just kind of like mucking around, like not really doing with money, but like choose one and just follow it until our next session at this
Well,
time and just see how it goes.
that's the
I
great
think I
thing
still
about the
need a
system.
little bit more information before I would actually, it feels like to me, I need a little more information before I would actually get started. And maybe I'm being conservative about it, but
No,
that's what,
I think maybe 1% of the people who jump into this start doing it with money right away.
yeah.
I think they want to get comfortable with the software, with the interface, know that they really understand what they're doing.
Right.
And because you can track this easily enough on a day-to-day basis, if you started this 2 weeks ago on November 30th and you got into this, you would have made almost $500 on that trade, almost $250 on that one. That'd be a pretty good week on paper. That's the kind of thing that's going to make you feel comfortable and say, okay, I actually get this. I can pick stocks, I can pick models. My results are good. I'll put a little money into this. You're not going to put $1 million in the first time, but until you get comfortable with the interface, I think it only makes sense to paper trade for that.
Got it. How long do you know, like how long it takes? Like, I guess it depends on the person, how long it takes them to get comfortable with the interface, right? Or is there like,
Well,
on average?
knowing you and the fact that you just expanded your practice and you're in 2 locations in New York City now and everything else, you don't have a lot of spare time.
No.
If
Who
you
does?
if you were in the kind of situation where you could go home from, wherever you worked every day at 5 o'clock and spend a couple hours playing with this, I would say 2 days later, you'd probably say, I get this. There's only so
Okay.
many buttons I can
So
press.
in other
and
words, I
understand.
need to dedicate like 4 or 5 good hours of brain time into this in order for me to feel comfortable with
It
the
also
system.
depends on
Give
how
or
fast
take.
how fast you learn stuff, but
Well, I learned stuff very quickly, even though it's computers. Come on,
you
John.
do, but the lack of complexity of the system here, everything that you need is on this page.
Mhm.
All of the voodoo and the algorithms and the complicated mathematics and graphs and the moving averages and the candlestick bars and everything else, that's all runs in the background, and that's what feeds go long, go short, go out. You don't need to do any of that. You just need to
Right.
learn how to
I
use the
just need to
system to get your signals.
keep my blinders on and just focus on the information here and just trust in the system and have faith that it's going to do all those other things and just learn what's in front of me, which is the important thing.
Right. And
Okay.
as a teaser for day 2, the next time we do this, all we've looked at today is how do I analyze a stock and how do I look at the trade analyzer to look at how these trades worked out once I decide which one of these algorithms I think, or which one of these models I think I like. Day 2, we're going to talk about these buttons, the data analyzer, the trend analyzer, the risk analyzer, the chart analyzer. That's
Okay.
part of how you're going to decide how long do I stay at the party with this particular stock or this particular.
Got it. Good. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate
Thank
this.
you for
And
being here. It was great. I had
did
no
my-
idea how it was going to go, and neither did you, but I think it was great.
No, and you know what? I feel like I learned, I don't have to learn anything else today. I did a day's worth of learning today for sure. And so this was
Good.
really, really, really wonderful. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here.
Okay, bye.
All right, folks, thanks a lot. We're going to put this up on our YouTube channel and give everybody opportunity to watch it back. If you have created a user account, you can then reproduce all these examples that we had here, because whether you are looking at it this morning with Rachel and I, or you look at it a week from now or a month from now, if you put in these same dates, these same values in the same stock, you're going to see exactly the same results, because that's how the system works. All right. Thanks for being here. Bye for now.
Thank you.